computer. Hello, welcome back to the Uncensored Journey podcast, where we say whatever the fuck we want because it's our journey, like it or not. I am Cyndee Goldstein, and I am here with
Gabriela Popesco.
We are so happy you are joining us today because we are talking about a topic today that is near and dear to my heart, body image and self-worth. And I know for myself, I have struggled with this for years and years and years. So I am curious to see how this topic has affected other people. So with that, Gabriela, have you always loved your body?
Oh, no. I've been in a self-hate relationship with my body for a very long time, for a very, very long time. And it's even during my self-love journey, it kind of took a back seat, and I didn't really focus on loving my body up until 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, no. No. What about you?
God, no. Weight has always been a struggle for me, and I spent so many years thinking my weight defined who I am. And as I got older or as I did work, I realized that's not the case. So I was just gonna ask you the next question, I guess, is how did you get from where you were to where you are now?
Well, I've done a lot of different programs, and one of them that was really successful and it really gave me a better understanding was the somatic class that I took. And also this book that I read that is incredibly powerful. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. And I realized that, one, we hold a lot of trauma into our body. Men do too, and women generally hold a lot of trauma in their sacral, in their womb area. And when it comes to physical health and the body, right, like having weight issues, I can relate to that as well. And originally it was for completely selfish reasons why I started considering loving my body, because I wanted to drop weight and to lose fat. And but then the more I dove into the somatic aspect of the connection of the mind, body, and soul, I realized that my own negative thoughts and the things that I was saying to myself were contributing to me holding on to my weight. And by me talking down to my body, I was traumatizing my body and causing stress to it, and as a result, not losing the weight. So yeah, that's something that really helped me where I am today.
Awesome. So I'll just jump on this bandwagon and talk about it too. And it was a lot of work for me, and I realized that I finally had to realize that I am not fat and that I have fat, and fat does not define who I am. And that took me a long time to realize that having something and being something were different things. And I've struggled many, many years, like I had mentioned, with my weight, and it's having to forgive. Like, I was taught bad eating habits, so of course, like, fat kid, fat teenager, fat adult. But I am an adult now, and I can make my own eating choices, but my root has always been super bad eating habits. Like, I was taught to eat Ruffles with sour cream on the couch and watch movies, and my siblings were taught to go outside and play, and so I have a thin sibling and I am not, because like my foundation was different than his, right? So I I attribute some of that. There was some trauma that happened. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different podcast, but there was some trauma that happened. And, I'm convinced that that's why my body holds on to weight. I try a lot of things. I go to the gym every day, I exercise every single day, 7 days a week, and the weight just doesn't want to drop off. And I discovered this person named John Gabriel, and his thing is like mindset, like weight loss with mindset, and changing your eating habits also, but mostly mindset. And that's where I first got introduced to like weight might be trauma based. And so now having to work through traumas of the past to try to get to where I want to be currently, but also being okay with who I am and being happy. Like I can still love myself and not like what I look like, and want to be healthier and not like the health status that I'm in. So, um, yeah, long-winded answer, but there you go.
Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So how do you define your self-worth?
Ah, I feel like like self-worth, like it has to be like a realistic perception of myself, right? And I have to acknowledge the good and the bad. And like I can't overemphasize one without the other. Like one or the other. I can't overemphasize perfection. I can't overemphasize weakness. Um, but I think it's also like an inside, like an internal kind of compass. It like that helps me guide self-compassion. It helps me guide resilience. It helps me guide um, like the challenges and the sense and my self-confidence and really my self-respect. So I think self-worth is just really like your own perception of you. And that could either be good or bad. And sometimes, it's easier to choose the bad, but no, I'm choosing to choose the good at this point. So how about you? How do you define self-worth?
I love that. Everything's a choice, right?
Everything's a choice.
Self-worth, how do I define it? I define it by knowing and choosing to believe that I am worthy, that I'm worthy of love, respect.
Mhm.
I'm worthy of abundance and wealth, and that I am worthy to be heard. Um, that's how I define it, and sticking to my story.
You should. You are worthy of all those things, as is everybody else.
That's right.
So, with the positive mindset going, what are three things, or what are some things that you appreciate about your body?
I appreciate my body. What do I appreciate? I appreciated that it works really well, that it's healthy, that it works with me and not against me. I appreciate that it carries me through life and it takes me from point A to point B, and that it allows me to experience life in so many different ways, be it through, a really good workout, through getting a massage, through dancing. It allows me to experience life in many aspects. What about you?
Um, similar things. When I first was reading this, asking this question, I thought that my first thing that came to me was my body is a temple and I worship at it. But I say kind of along the same things. Like I appreciate like my body's strength, like the muscles that I'm able to build and do the things that I love. I'm a competitive power lifter, and I need my body to be strong, and it hasn't given up on me yet. All of my weight fluctuations, my body hasn't given up on me yet. My highest weight, my lowest weight hasn't given up on me yet. Um, the I appreciate it's like, it's so, y- human body is just crazy. The way, like, it can heal itself. It can do all of these things that are like you would think are physically impossible, right? Like, and also its ability to stay healthy. Like, I don't really get sick. um I don't, I just don't ever get sick, and I don't know why that is. And I've tortured my body for so many years with different diets and different this and different that, and um I it's always just bounces right back. And um I appreciate that it's I appreciate also that it's given me an opportunity to like myself, to be able to love myself without liking everything. And it's kind of like a metaphor in life, right? For everything else in my life is like, I can love things and not like them at the same time, right? Like family members, or um the cup I'm drinking out of, whatever. So yeah, I those are those are my things. Um do
Love it.
you Yes, it's
Mm.
bodies are important. Our bodies are important. Um, how do you nurture a more positive and accepting relationship with your body? Do you have any tips, tricks,
Uh,
suggestions?
yeah, I mean, I find myself more often than not saying something grateful, like, expressing gratitude towards my body, and also just telling it that I love you, and that I'm really grateful that I'm healthy, and um, yeah, that I get to be, like you said, strong, flexible, and move in ways that I actually was not able to move, about a year ago. And that now I'm moving uninhibited. So yeah, very, very, very blessed, and just being in a constant state of gratitude. What about
Nice.
you?
I just off of that, I was thinking, you said, if that song in Chicago, that if you're good to mama, mom will be good to you. And I just that made me think of your, if you're good to your body will be good to you.
All
um
right.
I how do I nurture a more positive and accepting relationship? I again, it goes back to a choice, right? Like for me, and a change of perspective. Like I can choose to continue on the path that makes me miserable, or I can choose to go on a path um that I'm okay with, that I could be happy, and I can be joyous, and like and do things. And I feel like specifically, nurturing a more positive, accepting relationship is doing things out of my comfort zone, right? Like, so I have a lot of extra weight, and to compete in powerlifting, you have to wear a singlet. And that kept me from doing that for so long, because it kept me from competing for so long, because I was so afraid of that piece of clothing. And I one day I woke up, I said, fuck it. Like, who cares? I'm doing this for me, not for anybody else. And I'm just going to accept what I look like right now. I don't have to, this might not be what I look like in my next competition or the next whatever. But right now, I'm going to just do something that scares the shit out of me, and just do it and see what happens. Spoiler alert, nobody cared. I was like worried about something for no reason. And it helped me be more accepting about other things, like other clothing options or other things in my life, in regards to my body. So um, I say, do something that scares you or that you're fearful of, because it might turn out better than you have hoped. So yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
interesting
yeah,
stuff when you
I
set
love
your mind to it.
that. Yeah, that's funny. I was just talking to one of my clients about yes, yes, hell no, and how that concept, like whenever you're setting a goal or that is outrageous, that's exactly when you should do it. And that's the goal that you want to do, because it excites you and it scares you at the same time. And that's what creates change, right?
For sure, 100%.
So what do you think about the body positive movement going on in the world right now?
Um, well, unpopular opinion, but I think it's stupid. Here's why. We have we can't we have to be realistic, right? So, I mean, like I said, I'm overweight. Hold a lot of extra weight and I'm working on that, but I'm also not in the delusion that my body is like perfectly healthy, right? It's not healthy for my organs to have all this weight on it, my stomach fat or whatever the case may be, having such a high percentage of body fat. And I think that the body positive movement is giving people a false sense of they don't have to try to better themselves and be healthy. And there's this book called Healthy at Any Size, and not to slam the author, but I that author is doing a disservice because you can't be healthy and have excess fat. It's just impossible. There's scientific proof that your organs need a healthy it needs a healthy place to live and thrive. And that's not to say, like I said earlier, you can love your body, you can love who you are, and still not like the package it comes in, and still want to make improvements on that package. But saying fat is beautiful and fat is healthy and fat is this, I think that's a detriment to like the younger kids who are then like, well, I'm just going to eat fast food and Skittles all day and drink soda and think that that's okay. That's a lot of crap going into your body. I can talk about this forever, but and I can call out celebrities who are putting this nonsense into young people's brains and even adults brains, but I'm not going to do that. Just I don't I'm just gonna end this by saying, like, you can love who you are and not like the package it comes in, and still want to like make it better, make yourself better. And there's nothing wrong with that. How about you? Sorry to like verbally vomit all over you, but how about you? What do you think about this body positive movement?
Well, you're preaching to the choir, and for for quite some time, I think, it took me a minute. Like, I would get so triggered when I would see these, like, quite frankly, obese models in stores, and like just be constantly accosted with that, because like you said, it sends the wrong message. Um it is it's sending the message that, hey, it's okay to be sick. It's okay to um it's okay to continue eating terribly and to not take ownership over your health. And yeah, it used to trigger me so much, and I used to get so mad. And even like now, when I'm shopping online, I'm getting accosted by these overweight, like severely overweight people, probably obese. And I'm just like, that, like, why would I want that in my subconscious? Like, that's not like what I want to see. And not to say that, the last 20 some years where we've constantly been accosted by model-like bodies, also there's like the other extreme where, like, oh, if you're not a size 0 or a size 2, then you're not beautiful. So yes, I think the body positivity movement is just another attempt of corporations and the powers that be, to continue to keep people in a fog about what's truly good for them and what's not, and to perpetuate an industry of sickness. And yeah,
Agreed.
I mean, there's so much misinformation out there when it comes to what's healthy, what is good for the body, the types of diets and lifestyles that people should have. And why not? Let's have another campaign of propaganda and misinformation about what's really healthy. Um, you know, I I'm definitely not a size 0. I will never be a size 0, and I'm okay with that. I don't even know that what's considered um you know, traditionally like beautiful, or what's considered mainstream, that I would fall into that category. And I'm okay with that because I love my curves. And I am not delusional into thinking that I need to be a certain size to be beautiful and to be accepted and embraced. And so, yes,
Awesome.
that's my view on that.
You know, just to piggyback off of that for a second, Victoria's Secret went the route of the obese model, and they lost a lot of money, like billions of dollars. So this next season's catalog or whatever, guess what they're doing? Going back to the angels. Because so I think we're going to see a little shift in that trend coming up, but I really hope so. I really hope so. I think you're super right about the corporation things trying to be accepting, and there's but I yeah. Anyways, just gonna leave it at that. So thank you for sharing your opinion on that. It's a tough one to talk about, but I think it's important.
Yeah, I think, yes, it's a big elephant in the room and it should be acknowledged. So
Agreed, agreed.
thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And next Monday, we're going to release and focus on stories of recovering perfectionists. Thank you.